Here at Helmuth Ford, we are a small town dealership with no hassle and no pressure.
The City of Sigourney is accepting applications for a position of full-time certified police chief. All applicants must be currently certified as a peace officer and must meet Iowa Law Enforcement Academy requirements for the position, which requires testing. Salary will range from $65,000 to $75,000 and will be dependent on qualifications and experience. Offer includes a $5,000 sign-on bonus plus a full benefits package. Request an application from the Sigourney City Clerk at 100 North Main Street in Sigourney. Applications and resumes will be accepted until the position is filled. Retro Antique Tour Fall Edition is coming up Friday, September 20th and Saturday, September 21st. Embark on a shop-hop adventure designed for people to discover hidden gems in shops and communities in a well-organized and distinctive antique shopping experience. With participating businesses in Oskaloosa, Pella, New Sharon, Beacon, and Ottumwa. For more information, visit brushedbyjude.com and click on the link for the Retro Antique Tour. Or reach out via email at brushedbyjude@gmail.com or call 641-660-2536. The Brooklyn Opera House in Brooklyn, Iowa presents Iowa country artist Jake Simon along with Blake Jack and South 35 in concert on Saturday, September 21st at 8 p.m. Tickets are just $25 and available through eventbrite.com or use the QR code on your screen. That's Jake Simon and Blake Jack and South 35 Saturday, September 21st, 8 p.m. at the Brooklyn Opera House. Don't miss it. Hey, it is time for some real talk. Time to get real with Pastor Aaron Fleming and myself. Of course, we're brought to us by New Life Community Church in Wellman, Iowa, where this guy is the pastor. Aaron, what is up?
Well, Steve, I'm in a little bit of a mood today.
All right.
So a mood.
You're moody.
It's I'm not sure if I would say moody exactly. That has some connotations that I'm uncomfortable with. I'm not moody.
And how dare you say I am?
Yeah, how dare you? Who do you think you are? Steve Shetler of Steve Shetler Media. No, there's a lot of room for humility these days. I see you're still wearing a Hawkeyes shirt there.
Yeah, heck yeah. One little loss by one little aggravating, depressing point won't bring me down.
Yeah, have you ever stopped to think about what it's like to be an Ohio State fan and expect to win every single game your whole life?
That would be nice.
And then when you're an Iowa fan, you're like, well, that was a bummer, but I kind of expected it.
Yeah, it's Iowa.
It's Iowa. This is the Iowa way. Yeah. And I'm sure out in our listening audience, we have some Iowa State fans who are rejoicing over the weekend. We're recording this just a couple of days after the well, it depends. Was it sad or was it happy?
Yeah.
If you were an Iowa fan, it was a sad loss to Iowa State, and if you cheer for the my daughter's boyfriend sent me a message on Facebook. They're both in the Iowa State marching band,
okay.
So. He sent me, I thought maybe it was a little bit of a gloating message. And he's like a really quiet guy. He doesn't talk to me a whole lot because I think he's scared of me or something because I'm his girlfriend's dad. But he sent me a message about the dumb yellow bird losing. And then he said something about...
Let me meet this guy.
Yeah. So the Hawkeyes are the dumb yellow bird, but the Cyclones are the cool red bird.
Oh, okay.
In the category of, what does a red bird have to do with a cyclone?
I know. Yeah. Are they a cyclone? Are they like tornado twisters? Or are they a bird?
I don't know. But then you look at Alabama, and they're the Red Tide, and their mascot is an elephant.
Yeah, that's weird.
You got the Auburn Tigers, and their rally cry is War Eagle.
Some stuff you just overlook.
You just and then there's Kansas, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Let's just say some words that kind of rhyme. All right, we got that out of our system.
That's our show for today. Thank you.
We're just reflecting on the puzzling, stupid things in college sports.
Yeah.
No, I guess we could get serious. We could talk about the mood that I'm in. I wanna kick us off since we're sponsored by New Life Community Church, and I am a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by the time this show airs, New Life will have had its 17th anniversary. So some of the churches in our communities have been around since. Well, I'm friends with Pastor Darrell Carr from First Baptist in Washington.
Okay.
First Baptist in Washington was founded before Iowa was a state.
Yeah.
Like 1836 or something like that. Like Texas was still its own country.
It was Wild West back then.
Yeah, they say that even in like the 1880s, it was so wild between Wellman and Washington that you had to have a guide to lead you through the forests between Wellman and Washington.
For real?
I've heard that.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true. It makes a good story. But yeah, because the stagecoach road went through Wellman, but it went from Iowa City down to Ottumwa. So like there was no reason to have a direct route to Washington other than that Washington was the county seat and blah blah blah. But anyway, yeah, like it was kind of wilderness. So wow, where did that come from?
We're all over the place today.
Yeah, First Baptist. So I have friends who pastor churches that have been around for a long time. I'm friends with Steve Nelson, pastor at Lower Deer Creek Mennonite Church, and they've been around since the 1870s or something like that. So, but New Life we just started 17 years ago, and one of the key Bible verses that we just kind of have hung our hat on for all these years, and we mentioned this last week in our last discussion, but it's worth going back to. From Isaiah 54, chapter 2. Enlarge the place of your tent. Stretch your tent curtains wide. Do not hold back. Lengthen your cords and strengthen your stakes. So there's this idea communicated in this scripture that God has more for you. And sometimes you don't get to receive it until you prepare a place for it. Kind of like if God promised you a huge harvest this fall, but you didn't build a grain bin. Mm-hmm. Like, should God give you that giant harvest if you didn't bother to build a grain bin to hold it?
Yeah. Nowhere to put it.
Nowhere to put it. So why would he give it to you? It's just going to sit there and rot. So sometimes we have to take actions before God moves to prepare ourselves for when he moves, or else either he doesn't do it. And like, this is kind of a mystery. I don't know, like the plans of God are sometimes murky in my mind, but either God doesn't do it or I don't see it because I didn't get ready for it. And I really didn't have faith. So this idea of expanding your tent curtains, stretching those tent curtains out, strengthening the stakes and lengthening, because the bigger the tent, the bigger the stake you need, right? Because the bigger the tent, the more like a giant sail it is. And if you've ever, like you go to track meets, high school track meets at the spring, and all the schools have those, like pop-up pavilions that all the kids, they put their stuff under, and if it rains, they hide. And every once in a while, you'll see a giant gust of wind catch one of those little tents, and it goes flying, right? So the bigger the tent, the stronger the stakes, and the longer the cords that you need to keep that thing tethered to the ground. But God is inviting us to make space for people to come into our lives and to come into the kingdom of God. And so with our anniversary coming up, I've just been thinking about some stories of the good old days, and one that comes to mind that's kind of happy and kind of sad, kind of a bittersweet memory. But we were having some Bible studies before we launched the church, kind of building the team and getting people together. And so one night, Melissa and I think we had 2 kids at the time, we were walking across town to go to Bible study, and we ran into a little girl, probably 5 or 6 years old, riding her bike around, and we kind of knew her and her background a little bit. So I invited her to come with us. Just little kid, 5, 6 years old. So she came with us, and we knew that she had grown up without a dad up to that point. I'm not sure where he was, and it kind of doesn't matter. He wasn't there. But before Bible study started, we were early. So I was sitting around in the family room with a crowd of little kids, and I invited this girl to sit with me and read a book together. And so I read her a storybook, and just a few minutes, and kind of right as we finished that up, I overheard the other kids in the room talking about their dads, like my dad does this and my dad does that. And so they're talking about their dads. And this little girl patted me on the leg and told the other kids, "This is my dad." Oh, man.
That'll bring a tear to your eye.
Yeah. It got choked up, and now this, we're 18 years down the road, and I just think about that, and I mean it's scary how quickly, I mean, if I was a nefarious person, that could be bad. And that hit me at that moment, like here's a really vulnerable child, and maybe someday not all of the men that go in and out of her life are going to have the best intentions. And so it's sobering. Like, I'm glad that I could be there in that moment.
Yeah.
And we did what we could over the years to kind of try to create a safe space for her. And really that's what starting a church has always been about, is kind of just trying to make a safe space for people. And then people can make choices. Kind of another bittersweet thing this week is we've gotten several reports from guys that say, I'm wearing my retrograde ministries. It's an addictions recovery ministry that we partner with. And so for our anniversary celebration, we've got a couple of guys who have stayed clean and sober and are coming back to celebrate with us.
Okay.
So that's exciting. And at the same time, just in the last week, I've found out about 2 of the men that went through the program who relapsed over the years. And just in the last week, they both died of overdoses. And so I that's why I'm in a mood this week. You know? Lots of encouraging things, and 17 years as a church, stretching out those 10 curtains and trying to make a place. And you win some and you lose some. Though it's not really a game, right? It's real people. And but what do you do? You just have to be faithful to God and make space and try to create a safe space. I feel like if we can make a space as a church where people have a fighting chance to make some good choices, to meet God, to turn away from their sin, we've done our part. And people have to make their own choices, and some of their choices are good and some of their choices are a little sketchy.
Yeah.
So, that's just kind of where I am this week, and trying to be real about that, and a lot of bittersweet memories, and some that are just more purely sweet. But I think that's kind of where we are today.
Okay. Yeah, that's being real.
Yeah. That's what we try to do here on Real Talk, because we know that you, our listeners, you guys are having bittersweet moments in your lives, and So hopefully we're an encouragement to you to say, stay close to God. Keep strengthening your stakes. I always think of strengthening your stakes as just being rooted in God. Can I go a little bit deeper in the Word? Can I spend some time in prayer today? Can I give a little bit more of myself to Christ, who gave His life for me, and just become a stronger person in that way? And so if I strengthen my stakes and I create some space for somebody else to have a fighting chance, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I look forward to hearing God say to me someday, "Well done, good and faithful servant." And then other people can make their choices. And so anyway, little bit of a sobering conversation today, but hey, if you need a safe space to start making good choices in your life, or you want to be part of a team, because did you ever see the Lego movie?
I did. It's been a while. But
Yeah, you remember the theme song, "Everything is Awesome"?
Yes.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. So yeah, if you want to be a team of people who are focused on Christ and focused on creating a space for other people to be safe and to find salvation and a better life, hey, drop on by and join us at New Life Community Church. We meet at the Parkside Activity Center on Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock. And then we've got some midweek activities too. Oh, hey, I got to give a shout out to my friend Jason Collier, who pastor down in Crawfordsville, and he came up and did a men's event for us. We had just like 37 guys sitting around grilling meat and eating baked beans and chips.
Arr.
Yeah.
Arr.
Yeah. You have a men's potluck and there's no salad.
You don't need to waste your time on salad.
Unless you consider potato salad to be a salad. It's not. I'm sorry to say. It's not. Potatoes are a starch, not a vegetable. So
yeah.
And on that happy note, now that I've dogged out potato salad, I think we'll sign off for this week.
All right. Well, hey, by the way, congratulations on the anniversary with the church. That's very good. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Proud
I
of
do.
You. Proud of you for doing what you can. Don't get down on yourself either. You're doing, like you said, you're doing your part. You're creating the environment, the church family there, and you're doing good. So keep it up.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
All right. So that is Real Talk here on Steve Shetler Media. It's brought to us by New Life Community Church in Wellman, where this guy is the pastor. Make sure you check them out. We always give you a link to their Facebook page on the Facebook side of things. So New Life Community Church in Wellman, our sponsor. And we'll do this again next week.